Hello, everybody. My name is Ratnos, and today we've had a bunch of stuff hit the 9.1.5 PTR, including Legion Time Walking Mythic Plus, which I've just done some. I might upload some of those VODs to this YouTube channel, so check those out if I do. Otherwise, they're on my Twitch VODs as well. But there's also a tremendous amount of other news about just all kinds of stuff. So let's get started here. Necrotic Mythic Plus affix has been nerfed to a 6-second duration instead of 9 seconds. This is not the change that I would have made to Necrotic, but it is a great change towards making it a lot easier to kite and drop stacks. Much more realistic, and also it means that on boss encounters where you would stack Necrotic really heavily, it's much more feasible to actually drop stacks as well. So in situations where you would get to like 50 or 60 stacks, you would still those situations will be unchanged. You know, any kind of situation where you're getting attacked by 4,000 enemies, that's still going to happen to you. But in situations where you would get to like boss fights where you'd get to 10 stacks, you're probably going to have an opportunity to drop somewhere along the way. And also just like any encounter where you could potentially kite, you can now do that and actually drop stacks more realistically. So good change to Necrotic. I suspect it'll still be one of the more annoying affixes, but this will actually go a long way. You know, as this number gets lower, just the incidental resets, right? Like this is starting to get in range of like an AoE stun, and you basically have reset. So definitely big, especially as they mention here, because it does combine with Fortified this season. Okay, actually, let's go do the Bolstering and Raging ones, and then we'll get to the raid stuff. Bolstering now have temporary instead of permanent buff. So it is now a 20-second buff on targets. This is something where, like, a lot of normal play patterns last patch wouldn't be changed too much by this, but this is actually the exact change I would make to, and in fact have advocated making before, to advocate, or to change it so that you don't get these checkmate situations with bolstering anymore, right? Where it's like, oh, this thing has 5 stacks of bolster because I pulled it at the end of a previous pull. Now my best option is to wipe, right? Instead, your new best option is going to be kite for 20 seconds, right? Or just tank it for 20 seconds, you know, and it will eventually be okay. And that is, I think, a really good change. I think this is similar to Sanguine, right? Do you remember when they took Sanguine from 60 seconds down to 20 seconds? All kinds of dungeons like Waycrest Manor, where just like a mob could be stuck in Sanguine for its entire duration, got a lot better that way. I think this is going to be a huge improvement. And potentially it'll even make pulls that like were previously bolstering no-nos possible, right? Because like just a 20-second inefficiency is potentially less bad than doing the pulls the other way. So I think this is a fantastic change for bolstering that should really address the worst parts of the affix. And then we also have a Raging nerf. It is down to a 50% damage increase instead of 75. My suspicion is that this is, again, because Raging is being combined with Fortified this season, and that is a really nasty combination. Okay, other little changes that have been caught in this one. We have the cooldowns are refreshing at the end of the intermission phases. Now, I think that this is going to be everybody, not just the people that are downstairs, because, okay, so for those who didn't do Mythic Kel'Thuzad, the way the fight works right now, you basically just AFK in phase 1, because there are these spikes, these glacial spikes that explode. They do a heavy amount of raid damage, and so you just blow them all up at the same time, use your 3-minute defensive cooldowns, and then you need to delay the phase as long as possible so that the next set in phase, you know, the second up phase and the third up phase that are about, you need to make sure they're 3 minutes apart, right? And so the way you do that is by very carefully pushing at very precise times. This change hopefully will fix that and will make it so that you can just push Kel'Thuzad as fast as possible, and, you know, you get your cooldowns back, and then you push Kel'Thuzad as fast as possible again, and, you know, great. In theory, this makes the fight easier, which I think a fair argument before the tier came out is they should have made this fight harder, not easier. But now that we are on farm, this is one of those fights that is miserable during farm, because it just, as you get more and more geared, you just have to hold DPS longer and longer. And so I think this is a good adjustment to that. I think this will work well. Okay, and then another change that's coming is Grateful Offerings. If you ever want to use these, you have to go and like do the anima conductor stuff. Now you're just getting them from callings as well. Very cool. This means you'll be able to get your whatever appearances you want that are gated behind these. So another change that I am very happy to see. Okay, these are the newest notes that I could find on 9.1.5. If you're ever curious, if this video is outdated 2 hours after it comes out, as it sometimes is, go check the recent news here on Wowhead, and you can just see a nice list of stuff. You'll see some stuff about Burning Crusade or whatever as well. You can ignore that. That's silly. It's actually not. I enjoyed TBC Classic. I don't think I'll be playing Tier 5, but I played Tier 4. It's kind of fun. I played Tier 4 back in the day as well. It was also kind of fun. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited for the Mage Tower. It's not in this PTR build, unfortunately, but I'm pretty excited to do this again, as you saw in my earlier video today. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my Twitch stream. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.